Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am going to tonight talk about 5 ways to tell that your Louis Vuitton Neverfull is real. And if you've never joined me before, my name is Jennifer. Tonight I'm not going to talk about platelet-rich plasma or my vagina or my face or my breast lift. Tonight is all going to be about that. So if you're not interested, go ahead and just click out. I know my mother will click out, my husband will click out. No one in my family is interested in this but me. Let's get on with this. This is the Louis Vuitton Neverfull in the size GM in monogram. And I'm fortunate to own 2. This is the Louis Vuitton Neverfull in the Damier Azur in the size GM as well. So when you're looking at a Neverfull, when I first started buying these, I did not know that there was a Louis Vuitton's boutique 2.5 hours east of here. So I'd go on the pre-loved websites like Tradesy, I think was one of my first ones. There was another one called like it was Rebag. And then I started looking in eBay. It was really terrifying because you can't tell if you've never owned a real one before what's real or fake. So I started researching, and I learned a lot about them. These are the 5 things that I do now whenever I'm looking at one. And it's okay to get a fake one if you want to get a fake one. I'm putting this out there so that when you're out there, you don't pay like for a real one and you're actually getting a fake one. If you're paying for a fake one and you know it's fake, great. Sophie Sohet, though, has a really good video that I'm going to link down below in the comments about the dark side to fake designer handbag industry, to the fake designer handbag industry. So I've got 2 bags with me, and we're going to talk about the 5 ways that you can kind of easily tell it's a real Louis Vuitton Neverfull bag. Louis Vuitton started making these bags in 2007, and I originally saw this design in Europe because I was there with my boyfriend at the time, and I noticed these women carrying these bags around, and I, for some reason, fell in love with them. And I know I'd seen the Louis Vuitton pattern before because one of my friends in med school had it, and I didn't like them at all. I thought it was a boring color. It was icky with this kind of color with the brown. I just didn't like it. But for some reason, I like this tote bag shape. So fast forward, I finally got my first one in 2000 and I think it was, we were married in 2011. I think I got my first one in 2017. No, it was probably 2016-ish, 2015, 2016-ish. So back to what we're doing. First thing that I look at is I just kind of look at the bag. First of all, it should not be heavy. Louis Vuitton Neverfull bags are extremely light, and there's a reason for that. This is canvas, it's not plastic, and it's not leather. This is canvas. And I've updated this because I've learned a lot more through you guys. Because the first time I did this, this was like in the spring, I did my first video on 5 easy ways to tell it's an authentic Louis Vuitton Neverfull. I've learned so much more. This is canvas. This is canvas. Whatever you get, unless it's empreinte leather and it says empreinte leather, those are probably heavier, but these are super light bags. And there's a reason, because I want you to be able to put a lot of things. These were originally made for railroad travel. These are originally travel bags. These are not handbags. These are travel bags, for the trains. Okay, so you're feeling it. It should be very light. The handles should be light. Nothing should be heavy. So that brings us to number 2, the leather. The leather handles should be untreated leather. They shouldn't be fake leather. Shouldn't be plastic. Untreated leather looks like this. Let me see. This is a newer piece to my collection. This is the Spirone BB backpack. Look how white this leather is. This is untreated Vachetta leather. And when these Neverfull bags were new, that's how white these used to be. Look at the difference. And over time, with touching the handles, with exposure to heat, exposure to weather, and the oils from our hands, these start getting a really pretty patina. It's called a patina. And this is what you're going to get. This bag was originally made in 2011, and you'll get how dark this is. And I've seen even darker bags, so I'm looking forward to seeing how dark this will get. For this design off the subject, I think this honey patina looks really good with the Damier Azur rather than the untreated. I can't wait for my backpack to turn this kind of honey golden color. So that's the patina. So if you're getting a bag, and that brings us to the next point, we'll go back to number 2, the date code. Always look for the date code because that's going to help you to know if the patina goes with the date. If you're getting a bag that's made in 2007 when they first came out with these, and now it's 2019, and you look at the date code and it says 2000, it was made in 2007, but there is seriously patina that looks like this, then it's fake, because over time this should turn a golden honey brown. Even if you don't take it out and you leave it in your closet, you never use it, it should turn a honey golden brown. So back to number 2, the date code. Look for the date code. The date codes are always found underneath the pocket. So you open up the Neverfull, it's just one big gaping hole, and they're always going to have a big pocket. For the GM, it goes all the way to the bottom. I don't have reference for an MM. If you guys know how your MMs look, if the pocket goes all the way to the bottom, let me know in the comments. The date code's always found when you look at the pocket right here on this side. So it always is this tiny leather tab right there. So this tiny leather tab says F as in Frank L 0191. This means that it's made in France. The 2 letters are a country code. This was made in the 9th week of 2011. So you take the first and third numbers, and that's the week it was made, and then the third and the fourth numbers are the year that it was made. When you look at this one, this is a newer version. You can kind of tell because it's striped with no flowers, and the print is block print Louis Vuitton instead of the cursive. We have cursive, and it had flowers in it too. I just love these bags. So we'll lift the pocket up, and it's right here. And this date code is a little piece of leather as well. And it is made in America. The date code is SD1141. So this was made in the 11th week of 2000 and, this date code is SD1147. So this was made in the 14th week of 2017. In the newer Neverfulls a couple years back, they updated the lining where it's just stripes with no flowers, and they also included a pochette. And the date code can be found in the pochette as well. And it has a pocket. And if you look in the pocket on the right, there's your little tab with the date code as well. I'm not used to this camera yet. I'm using Camtasia now instead of Final Cut Pro. There we go. So we'll have the same date code as in the Neverfull. Okay, we'll put that back in here. So we've covered feel it, so the weight, the handles, the patina, date code. So finally, the last thing that I can tell if it's fake or real is the sides of the leather. Let me show you. In the newer leather, do you see this kind of subtle red? It's kind of very subtle, but it's kind of reddish. Excuse me. Well, that goes away with time and becomes it stays really subtle. It's never really red. And on this one, let me see if I can find it. See, look at that. If you have a bag that's really bright red, it's not real. These are very subtle red. So you can pretty quickly tell if it's real, because if it's a bright red color, don't go for it. It shouldn't be that bright. And I'll probably add on just an extra about the handles. Look at the shape of these bulbs. The handles always end in this pretty bulb shape, and that's unique to Louis Vuitton. This shape is really hard to imitate because sometimes they're too big, sometimes too pointy, sometimes too blunt, sometimes too fat. And also these arrows are really hard to imitate as well. Right there. The shape of this is really, really hard to imitate as well. Because sometimes the arrow is too pointy or too blunt or too fat. And just really, I think if your gut feeling is telling you, I don't know, this doesn't really feel right or doesn't feel good, trust it. It's always right. Just like a bad boyfriend. You know, you're on your date, you just have this bad feeling. Just go with your gut feeling. Well, I hope this is helpful on the 5 ways to know if your Louis Vuitton Neverfull is a real one before you put money down for it. And I hope this helps with your journey. I love Louis Vuitton, and I hope that you guys have a great rest of the week. Bye.